He spent decades paying too much for cars, but not for the reason you think. Now, the man with 1,300 cars is letting them all go. Most car fans dream of owning just one special ride, the kind they've pictured in their garage since childhood. Some lucky enthusiasts build modest collections of 10 or 15 machines they adore. But every now and then, someone breaks all expectations. Deep in rural Alabama, businessman Greg Rusk has quietly built what may be America's biggest personal car collection, around 1,300 vehicles. And here's the twist. He purposely overpaid for at least half of them. Why? To help people in his community during tough times. But now, after decades of generosity and horsepower, Rusk is selling every last one in a no-reserve auction that has collectors buzzing. And this is where things get divisive. Should someone ever own that many cars, most of which can't possibly all be driven? Many purists argue that cars are meant to be used, not parked. Even collectors with a dozen vehicles struggle to keep them exercised. I'll admit it, some of my cars barely see 500 miles a year. Rusk's collection, by contrast, includes hundreds that haven't rolled anywhere in over a decade. They've sat patiently, under dust, flat tires, and rusting fuel tanks, waiting for new owners. Finally, they're getting that chance. The generous collection, a once-in-a-lifetime sale. The first wave of Rusk's mammoth lineup, over 200 vehicles, is being offered by Hagerty Marketplace in an event they've appropriately dubbed the Generous Collection. Roughly 150 cars are already live for bidding, with dozens more being added each week. It's a treasure chest of automotive oddities, from weathered work trucks and quirky conversion vans to Mazda RX-8s, vintage Cadillacs, and even European gems. Some look immaculate, others cry out for restoration. But that's the charm, because Rusk wasn't your typical millionaire collector chasing trophies. He bought whatever sparked joy or hope in the person selling it. But let's rewind. How does a packaging tycoon end up owning more cars than some museums? The answer is as fascinating as it is heartwarming. From boxes to Buicks, the rise of a cardboard emperor, Greg Rusk leads Rusken Packaging, Inc., a corrugated packaging powerhouse headquartered in Cullman, Alabama. Founded back in 1974 by his father, Bobby Rusk, the company began as a small 6,000-square-foot operation. After Bobby's passing, Greg took the wheel in 1992 and transformed Rusken into a regional titan. With 19 facilities across 10 states, the company supplies everything from everyday shipping boxes to custom-designed packaging for major brands. If you've bought a product in the Southeast wrapped in cardboard, there's a good chance it came from Rusken. Business success gave Rusk the freedom to indulge his passion, cars. But his approach wasn't about prestige, it was about connection. The birth of an obsession in a recent episode of Barn Find Hunter. On Hagerty's YouTube channel, host Tom Cotter toured just a fraction of Rusk's empire. Hundreds of cars lined up like a steel city. Cotter lists off the collections: 259 Chevys, 109 Fords, 105 Cadillacs, 96 Pontiacs, 55 Mopars, 48 Lincolns, and the numbers keep climbing. Rusk explains his journey started nearly 3 decades ago with a simple dream: to own one Cadillac from every model year. Weekend after weekend, long before online car shopping went mainstream, he hunted, haggled, well, actually, overpaid, and hauled them home. Eventually, one Cadillac led to another, and then to everything else: Chevelles, Firebirds, Corvettes, Nash Metropolitans, even an LS-swapped Mazda RX-7. Rusk didn't discriminate. If it was cool, rare, or had a story, he wanted it. Over time, he lost count of how many he bought. His handwritten inventory list is literally an inch thick. He admits he doesn't even remember his first car. But his favorite? A 1959 Cadillac convertible, a masterpiece of chrome and tail fins. Buying cars, helping people. Now here's the part that really defines the man. Word got around in his community that Greg Rusk wasn't just collecting cars. He was using them to make a difference. Local families and company employees began approaching him when life delivered hard knocks, looming medical bills, mortgage payments, tuition deadlines. Instead of bargaining prices down like most buyers, Rusk asked a simple question: what do you really need for it? And then he paid that price, often well above market value. Hagerty reports that nearly half of his collection came from these local deals. Over the years, his generosity premium became legendary around Coleman. Hence the name The Generous Collection. It's not just marketing. It's his philosophy on four wheels, a collector's playground and a mechanic's dream. So, what exactly can you find at the auction? Pretty much everything automotive humanity ever created. There's a 1992 Cadillac Sedan DeVille custom funeral flower car, an oddly elegant hybrid of luxury and utility, a sort of Cadillac pickup with a flower bed in the back. Then there's a 1967 King Midget Model 3, a microcar being sold as a project piece because the team couldn't get it started. It's the kind of wonderfully weird discovery that makes auctions addictive. Some highlights include 1997 Chevrolet Camaro Z28 30th Anniversary Coupe, 1953 Jaguar XK120 Roadster, LS1 powered, 1989 Mazda RX-7 Turbo 2 6-speed, 1986 Chevrolet C10 Silverado, 1967 Oldsmobile Toronado, 2002 Chevrolet Monte Carlo SS Intimidator Edition, and yes, even humble heroes, a 2001 Audi TT with 239k miles and mismatched panels, plus an everyday 2007 Mitsubishi Eclipse and 2011 GMC Yukon XL Denali. It's a wild mix. Some cars belong at concours events, others need rescuing from barn dust. But that's what makes this collection remarkable. It's a mirror of real car culture, not a gleaming museum. There's something for every taste, budget, and level of wrenching ambition. The end of an era, or just a new beginning. After nearly 30 years of accumulation, Greg Rusk says this chapter of his life is closing. The obsession that filled garages and lawns across Alabama is giving way to a new purpose: sharing the joy. Each car leaving his collection becomes part of someone else's story now. It's hard not to admire the humility. Rarely does a collector disassemble an empire willingly. But here's where things might spark debate. Was Rusk right to hold on to so many machines for so long, or should he have released them sooner to keep them alive on the road? Can excessive collecting be justified if it comes from generosity? The Generous Collection auction is now live on Hagerty Marketplace, with most cars still open for bidding. If you're tempted, you've got time to prepare your excuses, or your checkbook, for when your partner asks why a dusty Cadillac just appeared in the driveway. As for the rest of us, we can stand in awe. Thousands of cars, decades of community kindness, and one man who proved that sometimes overpaying has nothing to do with money, and everything to do with heart. So, what do you think? Is Greg Rusk a hoarder, a hero, or maybe a little bit of both? Share your take below, because this story isn't just about cars. It's about the generosity that keeps them rolling.